Hi everyone, it's Simona and I'm here with my very special friend, my soul sister Regina. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
My pleasure to be here with you and with everyone else. Yes.
thank you. And the idea to do this chat came from a long talk that we had over the phone, where you mentioned your legacy, and it was just so beautiful to hear about that. And I was so excited about bringing it into the world where I've had a few nights where I had trouble sleeping because I just wanted to have this chat and actually record it and get it out to everyone. And it was partly because of your legacy, but also what the message behind it is. And just even thinking about your legacy was very touching because that's not something we think about very often of what's my legacy? What do I want to leave behind? So that's one of the topics today. But I'd also love to share how we met because I think it's quite a special story. And anything else that comes up, our travels and our adventures and chats and chai. This is one of our regularities, drinking chai, eating biscuits, doing card readings, burning incense and Palo Santo and everything else that goes with it. So please tell us where you'd like to start, basically your journey and how you came up onto this point of where you have so much clarity about your legacy.
Um, I guess it's difficult to start talking about where the journey begins because I guess the whole life it's part of the journey that brings you to the very present moment where you are in your life, and everything adds to um, to be part of who you are and be part of the work that you share into the world. And when I reflect now back into the years, that I have experienced, and everything that it's happened for me to be able to hold what I hold that I like to share with everyone. It's kind of like difficult to pinpoint how to start the story, but I guess mm, I guess a very important part, I think, is the drumming and how drumming came into my life, because there is many different elements that I enjoy and many different practices, but I would say the drum is the very core of everything. It's the one that roots is the roots, and then a lot of things branch out from there. So how the drumming came into my life, maybe I'll start from there. And the drumming came into my life when I was 18. I was in Spain, very young Regina, and she went into this party, um, like a underground party. And in there was this group of amazing African drummers. And they were all drumming just with drums. It was only drums, probably about 7 or 8 of them. Um, and the power I experienced with that amount of rhythm and it really blew me away. It was something that went straight into my heart, and I knew I have to drum. I have to drum. It never came before. Music was always in my life. I love singing. I play a little bit of keyboard. I love dancing, but it's not like the drumming came before to me until that very point that I experienced it full on. And so very soon after that, I went and searched for a drum. And I remember I found one which was very big, the biggest one of all of them. And that's how all it started. It started by just playing with my friends in the park, where everyone would bring like a guitar and timbales and the djembes. And in that way, it started as a very um, innocent way of just having fun and connecting with rhythm and with that power that I could feel inside when I was drumming and when I was expressing through the drum. Um, I was quite at the same time. I was quite I would say it's a mixture between introvert and shy, both parts of it. So that means I would be shy to maybe show off a bit of myself, but I also enjoy it to be in the space of being an introvert. Like I actually didn't need to express much in between my friends and conversations. But with the music, it was a different thing. I was like craving to express through music. It was like I found something that could bring into the world something that was deep inside me and that I could not express with words. So I really fall in love with, or rise in love with, the drum. And soon after that, I came to London, and I found a place where they used to do drumming. It was called Aquaba Galleries, and it was an amazing space, community space, where people would go there every weekend, and they was having a lot of different workshops with amazing master musicians from West Africa, different countries. And you can learn music from Mali, and music from Senegal, and music from Gambia, and music from Ghana. And it was really, for me, it was, so amazing. So life took a turn, and I got together in a relationship with the owner of the business, Leslie Conto, which, life brought us together, and we end up, becoming a unity and a family for 12 years. And we have our daughters, two daughters, Aino and Niara. But a big part of how I went so deep is because being with him meant that I actually dived myself with him into the business that he was having, and he was traveling to Ghana, where his father was from, and just really going and traveling into all these beautiful villages, to buy arts and crafts and instruments, and he was also a drum maker, and then put it all in a container and ship it into London and bring it into this place. So it was a whole story. It was not like, it was actually, and because I got together with him, I started to travel with him, and when I was there, uh, all I would do is just learn drumming and learn dancing and learn the chants, and it was an amazing experience because then I learned from the master musicians that they carry this legacy through their lineage. And for me, it was like such a privilege to be able to sit down in there, in this very simple and basically nature, like just these villages, and sit down and just being passed this knowledge with so much love and so much respect. For me, it was such an honor to know I'm receiving something so sacred, that is passed not by books, because there was nothing in books, nothing in recordings. You just pass it from person to person. So for me, I was learning drumming, but I was learning a lot more, and it was also that relationship between the person that has something and the person that's receiving something, and how amazing it is to share, actually, and to see, the way I was like thirsty to drink all of this knowledge, like, and they would see that in me, and because they would see that in me, that thirst, then they will pour out all this knowledge just like water. And I realized, wow, how beautiful is also this relationship in between the person that is receiving, the person that's giving, and then we are both giving and receiving. And so that was something really amazing. Also, of course, it was not only learning the music, learning the drumming, but seeing how the community would be totally bonded by this traditional music, and these moments where everyone will come together to play, to sing, to dance, enjoy, uh, regardless of what life would bring, as hard as the journey is, and how much you have or how much you don't have. In that space, everyone forgets about everything, and everyone is totally equal, and everyone enjoys. And for me, also, that was something really, really um, captivating. And I realized how much here, how much we need to have this here in our Western world. Um, how much goodness, how much love it creates to be bonded by this language that is not about sharing our stories of our life. So you can be in a place where you are just sharing music, and the depth of the unity, the bonding that creates between people is it's stronger even that the stories you can share. It's like a hard language, a language of emotion, you know. So that meant when I was coming from Ghana, um, I started very young. I was only 21 when I started my first group where I would be teaching them everything that I would learn in Ghana. And it was not that I wanted to be a teacher, really. I never actually saw none of this coming. But I just wanted to share it because actually people also asking me to share it. Wow, it's so beautiful. Will you share with us? And I said, yeah, of course. And and it was really even interesting for me to observe that I would feel really not confident on talking with people because also English wasn't my language, and so but then I could have a class of 30 people that they're all staring at me, and I'm just guiding them and teaching them, and and so for me also this became something that helped me to do a lot of inner work and to realize um, how to open to people, and how we can actually truly expose ourselves, expose our vulnerability in a space where we are all welcome each other, and that um, we are all equal, we are all going through so much. And the drumming became um, my spiritual teacher, my real guru, because everything that happens through the drum. Um, so I had I started to do then a lot of work with the drumming and in the community, in the education as well, doing work with children, with families, with people in rehab, um, in all different kind of places where the drum could bring um, this joy and also this healing. I would just really share it as much as I could and build community as much as I could. That was really, in a smaller scale. On a bigger scale, that was not really never something that for me was an aim of any kind. Uh, for me, it was just being in space and share. That would bring me so much joy to myself um, that it became my life without even almost being a choice. That that was my life.
Yeah, I get that. It's like it comes to you, right? It's like this energy comes to you and just expresses itself through you.
Yes, yes. In a way, if almost felt like there was um, that I've been very moved through my journey. Like when I really look back, it's quite interesting to see that, and to see that when we also allow ourselves to be comfortable in the space we are and not wondering too much, actually the upfolding is really beautiful, and you can also see how divine is moving you through and is helping you and is finding amazing ways to take you to the next and to the next, and how we connect with the people, how we find the people um, in our journey, and how everything is so connected. It is so magical. It is so um, amazing to actually realize life, with everything, with ups and downs. It's so precious and such a miracle.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, um, and I think then it came a point as well with the drumming where, because I used to teach a lot for the first years, it was a lot of passing just the drum rhythms from traditional drum rhythms from Ghana, especially. But then I started to have a call, which it was a deeper call, there was something that still wanted to come through, and it was something more of mine that was coming to be expressed also through the drum, but not necessarily having to pass um, the the African rhythms. It was more about connecting to rhythm and to your inner rhythm, and how this can really get you in connection with your heart. Like really, you journey so deep within, you know, and you're so present when you're drumming that it started to guide me more into using the drum on I would say on a meditation space. Mm, and then a lot of other tools that I was also learning. I started to get probably about 8 years, 9 years ago. Started then to get a lot into sound healing and the healing sound of our voices. Um, and at this point, I wasn't using my voice very much on the actual spaces. It were very much would be about the drums. Um, and I had a big blockage with my voice because I never consider my voice to be beautiful. And like everyone, I think we all have that kind of trauma, very very and my wish was being able to go with my voice and just do all these amazing things, like Beyonce kind of style. So there was a sadness inside me that I couldn't, I would wish, why don't I have this voice where I wish I could express with my voice. Um, and so that was a little thing in there. And it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm not a great singer, but to then started to understand that our inner voice, our voice, is such a healing tool. It's one of the most powerful because, of course, comes from within. Like it's a vibration that comes from inside the body. It's not an external instrument that is bringing a vibration to give me a benefit. No, it's my own body is creating a sound that's vibrating me from within, and is helping me heal. It's helping me harmonize within. um, and I started a journey of connecting with my voice. It was not about connecting with singing. It was about connecting with my voice. And so I started to do workshops um, with to learn about overtones. That's what came to me. Um, and I had beautiful teachers. Gio Peirce, she's one of the pioneers in here in England, very well known for her overtone work and sound healing, and also Ravi, um, um, which also he came later in life in a funny way. But the first time I met Ravi, um, um, he actually was a teacher for overtones. And practicing these overtones, I would just be in the shower, just practicing all these sounds and working with my breath, and it gave me some sort of strength in my voice, and also a relaxation, a way to be able to relax the body, to allow the voice to come out. And funny enough, I started to dream with my voice, singing voice. which didn't sound like what I normally hear. And when I would dream about this voice, I would wake up wishing I had this voice. I say, but that voice is so beautiful. How I wish I had that voice. Um, and then what came not long ago after all of this work with voice, about maybe 2 years, was mantra. And mantra is what um, helped me finally connect um, with singing in a way that is not coming from um, having to worry of how good is my voice, or how good I am in singing. It was suddenly realizing it's about enjoying to sing, because that's ultimately why we want to sing. It's because we enjoy singing. And uh, how mantra came to my life, it was um, life brings it in the right time at the right moment. And I got to know Deva Premal, Miten, and Manos, who I didn't hear about them at all. They randomly came in my YouTube feed, and I heard the Gayatri mantra, and I just, the same kind of power that I had when I was 18 and I experienced the drumming, I experienced it when I heard the Gayatri mantra. And I saw, this was a video, but I saw everyone so deep. They were so connected with this chant, which I didn't have a clue what it's talking about, but everyone's peace and everyone's singing together and melting into each other's voices um, touched me really deeply. And I was like, whoa, I have to experience this. And not long after that, I looked for them, and they were coming to London within a month. So I went to my very first concert with them in here in London in Church Union. And that time, as they were chanting and everyone was chanting, I could just cry. I remember I never cried so much in a concert. I was like, what is going on? it was um, it was something that opened. It was like a key that opened something special, something very mystical. And somehow, for me, mantra has the same quality as drumming, in the sense that it's not emotional, in the sense that you go deep into a trance because of the repetition, and in the way that brings you very present. So suddenly I discovered something that was through the voice, which I had this connection, and then everything fitted in place. Like it was like, okay, like it suddenly felt like these two powers came together, like the drumming, the rhythm, and then the mantra with the voice. It was just like boom. And then it just kind of came into my life, and it's just continue since then.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, it's so amazing. There were new pieces of information I haven't heard before. So this is amazing. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that story before. So it's so beautiful.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, so I think that leads naturally into how we met, actually.
Yes, I was thinking so.
Yeah. So it's interesting because it was about 5 years ago, and I was on a similar but different search of wanting to explore my creativity because I've never actually felt like I'm a creative person. I used to play the recorder when I was a child, and that was about it.
Mm.
And but I've always loved music, even as a teenager, especially. I just listened to so much music and remember those tapes, and inside it actually had the lyrics of the actual songs. So that's what I would always read the lyrics and try to learn English as well. That was my way. Music was actually my way of learning English because I wanted to understand what people were speaking about. And so about 5 years ago, it was actually, the first time I heard Deva Premal and Miten, I have sort of like a vague memory. So for me, it wasn't as clear as with you of like, boom, I heard them and that was it. I vaguely remember I was living in Australia back then. It was about 2011, and I went to yoga class and they played one of the songs. I think it was the Gayatri mantra actually. I remember afterwards, actually, people were going up to the teacher of like, what was that song? Because it was just really, especially in a yoga class, when you're in that deep space and then this sort of sound comes through, it was touching on a deeper level than as opposed to just hearing it somewhere on a radio when you're busy doing something, right?
Mm.
And so I remember sort of started exploring them a little bit. And then it was about 5 years ago when I thought, I want to be more creative. I want to get more into music. Maybe I can start playing a music instrument. And I was craving some sort of new community as well. I just wanted to find my tribe, of finding a different tribe that, I'm happy with my friends and my colleagues and all that. But it was just like something was calling my soul of there must be some other group that I can connect to. And so it was actually, I wanted to go to Deva Premal and Mitten's concert because I heard they were in London, but I had no one to go with. So I thought, should I go? Shouldn't I go? And that's still that moment of sometimes when you make a choice and it really changes your life. So for me to even deciding, it doesn't matter, I'll just go by myself. And then a friend reached out that one of her friends wants to go as well, and she doesn't have anyone to go with. So we actually ended up going together. And we didn't know each other before. So we just caught up for a cup of tea before the concert, then just went to the concert together. And then that was around the time when there were earthquakes in Nepal. So I remember they were raising a lot of money for schools and for people in Nepal. And then Manoj was actually saying during the concert, he said he was selling the bansuris, the Nepali flutes. And I thought, okay, I used to play the recorder. I'll get one and aim to learn how to play that because the sound is just divine. So I went up to him after the concert because he was the one selling the flutes. And I said, what's the best way to actually learn how to play this? And I remember he just turned around and he goes, Regina. And that's how he introduced me to you. And then we started chatting and exchanged phone numbers. And then it just went from there. And I'm just so grateful that I became a part of your community of, you have so many incredible people around you, so many creative musicians and actually not just musicians, all these beautiful goddess women, that doing all these super interesting things and so I'm just so grateful that I became part of your community and got to meet your friends. And I played the bansuri 3 times since then. It is so hard to play, but I got everything, like everything else that came with that, of meeting you and then for us, to go to their concerts and going to Costa Rica to their retreats and everything else that came afterwards has just been so magical.
Yes, yes, and it's as we were saying before, it's how amazing it's when you look back and you see how a simple connection in one moment can unfold into such a rich friendship and sharing so much and remaining so truthful over all these years as well, no, like how deep was almost, in a way I feel we already know each other, and because that's why it feels so natural to be together, to open so naturally, and to, yeah, and to remain with that same depth in our sisterhood, and of course you are another goddess anyways, like, you are another goddess that comes with so much light and so much beauty and all your gifts, um, and that's why you gravitate towards a community that is it's made of people that resonates in the same way. So
Thank you. Oh, just want to
I'm
give you a hug now.
grateful that you're in my life, sharing generously all of you, and all your love. So this always goes both ways, you know. It's yeah. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. And that also led to you performing with Deva and Miten. So I'd love to hear about that experience as well of actually sharing stage with them. What was that like?
That kind of jumps a bit, no, the story from having this connection of not being able to sing and suddenly jumping into being with them on stage. Like, whoa, what happened there? um, what happened is a story of love, I think, you know. I think in the moment we start to share love and we start to open more and more to love inside ourselves, we relax more and more, and then we are more in connection with our divine self, you know. And you know, I love them so much that I became totally hooked into them, like, you know. um, but this point I am, just so it's kind of a bit of context, by this point I, quite a few years back in the past, I already um, I was not together with the father of my girls, and so it was a different part of the journey, you know. After Africa, then kind of, and this new mantra thing came, my life kind of directed into all a different kind of um, yeah, like there was other things that were feeding me, you know. So basically, how what happened is I started to go to every single retreat that Deva and Miten would give, apart from Australia, I think. But every year, for 3 years, I went to Costa Rica in March, and then I went to Corfu in the summer, and I just you know, I just went deep into the sangha, deep into the community, deep into the mantra. Um, yeah, just really felt very home, very home with what this space was holding, you know, with the people that was there. And so, of course, because I was sharing more and more time, you know, I kind of got quite close with Deva and Miten and Manos and everyone. Um, and so, you know, Miten started to invite me to play a little bit of drumming, you know, while they were doing retreats. And so, um, and then I was also sharing a lot of my work there in the community. So, so there was something that grew from sharing so much space together in such a space where we grow so much, we go through so much, you know. There was a lot of healing that happened through all of this time that we shared. It was both full of joy and sometimes also full of triggers, you know. There's a lot of triggers inside which I didn't even know they were there. Wounds were open that I didn't know they were there. And so it was a space for inner healing, you know, and realizing I still had so much work to do. And so um, one of the times they were touring here in last year, actually, when they were touring in Europe, I went to Amsterdam because it's another dear sister, Ilenit, who is also like you, another soul sister. You know, we all really together and bonded. And she, um, so I would go there, you know, every year, and so I could just have the London concert and then follow them to Amsterdam and get together, you know, like this reunion of sisters, and also see them there and spend a bit more time before a whole year Passover. It was this those years. It was really like, it was like there is such a point of gravitation, you know. My life was really gravitating around them and what they would mean in my life. And I don't think I realized at the time how important was their role in my life, and until the very now where I am now, why they came, and everything that they still are very important in my life. So anyways, I arrived to Amsterdam And we went into the airport. My friend picked me up, and 3 hours later we were at the hall where they will give the concert. And when we arrived, they're doing sound check. So, the whole place is empty. They're just doing sound check. And then they just wave, hello, hello, girls. It's, oh, Regina, come up here, darling. And so when I'm there, it's like, would you sing this song with us? Would you like to sing this song with us? Not song, a mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum. And and I was like, yeah, for sure. Of course, I love to sing with you on stage. And then I went to the hotel room, and I was like, okay, like don't even think about it. Like, just be in a space, and just be in a space of love. And it's funny because I don't get nervous. It's really strange how all these years, this work with people gives you such a center space that even if you are excited about something, you don't, I don't become, I'm not taken away by fear of being nervous, of exposed in front of a few thousand people and singing with them. Also felt they my family, and and I'm just with them doing what we've been doing all this time. But the only thing is now we have a lot of people extra people singing with us. So I don't think I even. I mean, for me, singing with them in there, it's something really beautiful, it's something really special. But it is as special as when we were singing in Costa Rica or singing in Corfu. Um, it's just a different, uh, it's just a different place, but it's the same experience that we are having. Just that it's a lot more people that is joining us. So in that sense, when I was playing with them, I was really overwhelmed when I opened my eyes and everyone chanting towards us. Um, I could feel the vibration of the whole space. I could feel the wave of everyone togetherness in intention for compassion, chanting the Om Mani Padme Hum. And that was my heart felt fully open. Like, I don't think I could open any more than that. It's like it really went like um and it's amazing because in that moment it almost feels like timeless. Like, you don't know if you've been chanting for 1 minute or you've been chanting for hours. And so yeah, it was something that it's a precious moment that stays in my life as precious. um, but also that precious moment is as equally precious as every single other moment that we chant together, even if it's not on a stage. That's the quality that you get when you are in that space. It's nothing to do with we are on a stage and we are performing and we have a lot of people. It's nothing to do with that. And that's also why it's so truthful to me, because I don't resonate with the fame, and I don't resonate with this glory of being here and everyone just like, wow, it's amazing. It's like there's no up and there's no down. We are all equal, and you are equally as amazing as we are. And that's why there is so much joy, because we are celebrating each other. We are celebrating everything that's part of us, you know, and and I think when you embrace all of that, then you have absolute love, absolute love. When you are really, as Miten says, all is welcome here.
So beautiful. And that's exactly what it feels like, when you go to the concerts and they actually stay behind at the end and you can go and chat to them. They're just so open to, it's not that, yeah, I'm a star and I'm up here. They're so accessible. And what you just said, yes, it's love, and I mean, I'll always treasure the moments at the retreat when we would go into the ocean and watch the sunset, and just seeing them together there hugging in the water and us around them. And it was like, we're all one, we're sharing this beautiful, spectacular, loving moment
Mm,
with these superstars. Like, they're superstars, but
mm,
they're just there as human beings with their hearts open. And I think everyone sort of that is in their community has their special moments with them, or special moments at the concert, like So Much Magnificence, that song that
mm,
always touches me so deep. And I think I've cried every time I heard it in concert. It's just such a heart opener. And them, allowing the women to chant and then the men to chant, and then it's coming together. So it's just such a beautiful blending of the feminine and the masculine
mm,
coming together. It's not just music, it's not just chanting or mantras. There's just so many beautiful layers of life and love and being. So you've just put it so beautifully into words of
mm.
what it's like to be in their presence and be in the presence of music and sound.
What I also feel is like they are an inspiration because they are so down to earth that what their message is, we are all that superstar. We are all, there is nothing. The only thing that might be different is that they have committed in their path to do what they love without thinking what's going to be the outcome. Am I doing it because I want this or fame or a lot of people, or a lot of followers? They don't do it at all because of that. And it's amazing to listen to Miten talking about the very first retreat when it's like they put it out there, and I think they had like 6 people, and 4 of them were volunteers, and he says, I asked Deva asked, shall we go ahead? And he said, absolutely yes. We are there and we do what we love, and regardless of who is coming. We're not doing it for how many people is coming, we're just doing it because we love it. We love to do what we do, and in that way, that when you see that, it's such a mentoring thing to say, this is what we all need in our life. It's not that we need to be like them and do what they do, but what we need to do is be in our life with that passion, with that inner truth, and also with that force of creating, and keep on going no matter what comes in life. You keep on going, and you always hold on to that you love, and don't doubt yourself, and I think that's what makes people gravitate so much around them, because when you are in the presence, then you can embody that yourself as well. You feel your value, you feel that you have your gifts, and you just want to shine, because it's like we all have things to shine,
Yeah.
so I think that is a big thing that, you know we should always, a quality that we should all somehow uh, plant in our heart, and let it grow. Let me come with my own shine, and do it because I love it, regardless if it's gonna go far and it's gonna make me big or not. But let my life be an act of love, because everything I do it because I love it. And in that way, um, it becomes an inspiration for others, just the same as they do. And you realize it's like we just shooting stars, we keep on touching each other. In the moment you plant the seed, then you become part of the same light that starts to spiral and touch those around you, and then they will do the same and touch and so we keep on spreading this seed that says, you're beautiful, you are a creative being. And then when he says, shine your light, what is shining your light? That is what is shining your light, is shining with love, with everything you do, be do what you love, you know, and touch those around you, um, and just celebrate life and celebrate friends and celebrate music, you know. And I mean, we, of course, we are in the middle of a whole world experience, interesting experience with, we're going through a COVID, which is something that the whole world has experienced at the same time, and we are in it together. And because everything had to stop, it has been a time where we had to be like, even if I love this so much and this so much, and this is feeding me, I'm disconnected from everything. The only way to find this inner joy or inner love is going in. And that's been another part. The next level is like all levels. And I feel myself uh, very grateful that these years I've been having all this practice with mantra and all the practice with the drum, because thanks to that, when COVID came, I didn't feel no fear, I didn't feel no anxiety, even if it meant, well, you can't actually go out there and do your work. And you know, now I'm a single mother, I have two daughters, you know, I could go into what's normal, which is what now, and you know, and how I'm gonna do. And um, I didn't experience that. I was even surprised myself that uh, that was not even in my space. And and I know it is because that spiritual depth that comes from these practices, from going deep within and having something so truthful inside you that anchors you, and that you know everything else that's happening outside, everything else is just stories. There are just stories that are giving us experiences to learn and to keep on walking this path, you know. But the ultimate truth, you know, is that we are here, no matter what. No matter if we are here on a high peak of the wave or if we're here on the lowest part of the wave, we're here and we are with our loved ones, and we are sharing each other and we are sharing the experience. And to me, in that moment, very soon, I think after we locked down, in a couple of weeks, I felt this calling to go out and start sharing the meditation to connect with the heartbeat, you know, through mantra and through the drum. And I don't think I really thought about it very well, not that I needed to, because again, I was moved. But then it ended up being 9 weeks of every day in the morning, 1 hour, just you know, sharing this meditation, and it's amazing because I knew I was giving something to people, but what I was receiving was so amazing. I mean, my heart, the expansion I was feeling, the joy I was feeling, it was amazing. And I was like, I can't understand how I feel so happy and so full of love in times where we are going through so much also pain and fear. And yes, I could feel all the fear and the collective fear in the space, the collective pain in the space. And it's not that I was not unsensitized to it, but it's that I was truly rooted in the power of love. It's like nothing is moving me. This is where I am. And and then, you know, it's kind of amazing, you know. It's been a year, which is not over yet, but this also year has been very transformational in even also my work and my sharings. And of course it kind of opens my work that I've been doing now for, it's like almost 22 years. I think it's 20, more or less 22, which is my lucky number. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, is it 22? But really, I think, wow, 22 years of sharing music and sharing drumming and sharing a space to come together, a space to transform, a space to come home, and and with what's happened here as well, it's almost because it moved me more into be in the space of the digital platforms, which for a long time I didn't want to do much on like I didn't want to have a website. I didn't want to record my music. um, it's not that I didn't want to, I just didn't feel I needed to, because the work I was doing is with the people. I wanted to do things that was right here, right present, so that was already completed for me. But with everything how it's moved, then I started to then of course sharing um, more in a space where suddenly a lot of people started to be like, wow, this is really touching me. I'm watching your meditations and it's really helping me. And I was like, wow, there is also a power in this way of connecting with people that is not even present in your space. I'm always someone that's very physical, I like acoustic instruments, things that you touch, things that you play, that you interact with. But then this showed me there is also something really powerful in this way of connecting in a space where there's no distance, because when we are connected in that space, no matter where we are in the world, we are actually we are actually together. We are bonded and there's no space, there is no time. So with how seeing all of these way of being able to reach a wider community, um, started to form a vision of creating something where I could go deeper into passing, and that's where we come with the legacy, passing this practice that to me has helped me so much, and I know it has helped so many people through all these years, that they have come in touch with the drumming, that they have come in touch with the voice, that they have come into these communities, and how much healing, has happened into these spaces, that I started to feel almost like a responsibility. It's not now even just, it's not even just that I enjoy doing it. Suddenly I felt this is you responsible to pass this, to help people that they need it, and that they might not have access to be able to be with you, and they might not have access, to to ever maybe be in your presence, but you can pass in this non-space, no time, where there's no limitation. You can pass something that can benefit someone in their life. And so this is on the very, very beginnings, because I'm about to actually start next week the very first journey, where I'm inviting women from all around the world to be part of these 8 weeks where we come together to bring the drum into our life as a practice. So the invitation is, take this into your life. I will guide you through the process. I will guide you through the drumming and the rhythm, through the meditations. I will help you to make it part of your life. And and hopefully it can be a foundation of something that can remain in your life, because drumming is not about, same as mantra, it's not about I'm doing this because I'm a bit maybe a musician or a singer. It's because it's part of my daily life, which is the same as when you go back to Africa and you see music is part of their life. It's not because it's a job that I'm going to do or a career. It's because it's part of what we do in our everyday today life. And so I'm opening the doors of this kind of virtual temple, sanctuary for women, to come together and to experience, how the drum can be something so useful at the time to connect with yourself, to find your roots, to really, right now we're going through times where we really need to be grounded and rooted. Yeah, it's too many things that are moving us, too many thoughts, too many ideas, too many uh, it's too much, and I feel for many people that I see that they are lost, and they're losing faith. They are losing faith because they already gone through a lot, and they don't see this is gonna pass over. And then you start being like, I don't feel I can continue. I don't want to continue like this. And in that sense, which I totally understand, it sounds kind of difficult to say, but just hold on to the light. Everything is inside, because when you're in pain, it's very difficult to believe that something as simple as going in and connecting to this light can actually feel so good when everything else is so wrong around us. But I'm a person that is experiencing this, and I know this is a reality. We can all be totally in the same context, same world, same stories, but you can experience it from a completely different angle depending how are you transforming it all inside, how are you perceiving it, how this is helping me to grow, and what can I do in here um, to change it into a way that suddenly it's all a celebration of life, and so this is what's the next part of the journey. It's opening into something, where I can pass part of my um, part of my knowledge, or part of what I do that can benefit others.
And I'm super excited because I'm taking part as well in this program. And it's just, I watched the video the other day that you when you started promoting the program, and it just looks so incredible. And so, can you tell us actually a little bit more about the different stages, or the power of the rhythm, that part of your legacy, or what do you want people to know about the actual rhythm, how it can help them?
Yeah. Well, it's very interesting. A lot of women come and say, I feel so attracted to drum, and I don't know why. And many of them, they say, I've been actually called for a long time. Oh, I would love to drum. I would love to drum, but I never really done it. I never really gone for it. I hear it, I don't act upon it. And I don't know, it's so strong, and it's more strong. And that what is amazing, why we are so attracted to, or drawn to rhythm, is because we are formed under rhythm. This is what we are listening constantly. I mean, can you imagine you are forming yourself before there is thought, before there is anything? All there is your mother's heartbeat. There is a heartbeat. There's a heartbeat that sometimes it goes slow and it's relaxed, and sometimes it goes fast, and in your consciousness, that's what there is. And this vibration is also what's giving form to your body, to your physical self. So when we listen, when we can hear a heartbeat, a drum beat, instantly we're like, because it brings us home. It
Yeah.
brings us to that very old memory of our origin in this life, that feels nurturing, feels we are in this warm, watery space that it's the origin of our life. And so there's no surprise that people feel drawn to play drum. regardless if they play or they don't play. I feel everyone is drawn to it. And I also done a lot of work with children, and see also how it's with my daughters and how it's been with my nieces. And you put a drum in front of even a baby, and they just start tapping it. It's just like, oh, it's like you don't need to explain anything. It's so natural. So right now, again, with everything that's going on, because the call that we are receiving now is to go in, is to go in. This is the very important message right now, is you need to be connected to source. You need to be, and how the only you connect through your heart space. To go into the heart space, you can use the drum as a way to connect it, because straight away when you play the drum and you hear and you play that rhythm, you are in your heart space. And also when we are all playing together and we are all with the same rhythm, we are all bonded, and we are all bonded by the rhythm of the drum. And then we are feeling united. And if on top of that you bring your intention, then it's just the most powerful way of bringing people together, and connecting to your heart, but also connecting to the heart of creation, the heart of Mother Earth.
Mm.
And that would then lead into why, when I was really everything, how unfolds, and I was thinking, how can I pass rhythm to people that is not really so much about how to get technique in the drum, but how do we embody rhythm? How do we have the rhythm within? And the drum becomes the instrument that expresses what we feel inside. We are in tune with rhythm. We can, our bodies relax enough to move and dance to rhythm. I'm not stiff and plain. No, the rhythm's coming from within, and my voice is open and relaxed, that I can sing the rhythm. So it becomes a tool that helps us be open, like an expansive. And last year I released La Medicina, which is my first and only single so far. Um, and this song it's a living energy, that goes into this song, and it's just traveling around and connecting again. The same as the drum is a song that brings everyone together, connecting to Mother Earth, and the elements of nature, which is something. Um, which is something we need to embrace. If we really want to be in harmony, we can't be disconnected from Mother Nature, from our planet, because she is alive and we are nature. I mean, it's not a separation. We're just part of it. Just because we can walk around doesn't mean we are not part of it. A tree, you say a tree is nature because it's rooted in there, and it's a tree, it's part of the nature. So we are. But in the moment there is a belief that disconnects you, or also your life makes you be disconnected from that, and the rhythms and the cycles that nature goes through. I mean, our ancestors, they were always connected to these cycles, and to the sun and to the moon and to the different seasons, and what it meant for the land. The different seasons means like a whole different, like, if you are in winter, it's time to just collect and go in, and just go through the winter and relax. In spring it's time to plant, and then it's time to grow new things. And all of these seasons, and celebrating the seasons of Mother Earth, is the same that happens within us. We all go through our seasons. It's impossible that we are not in tune and synchronicity to these rhythms. But when we are living in a fast pace, that we're trying to be in this society and go fast into trying to get the job and pay all the bills and everything that distracts us from just having a walk outside and take a deep breath and say, wow, what a beautiful day, and just feel content and in peace, because how good it feels, and
Yeah.
that being more powerful than your whole day of stress. The more we can be connected to to that understanding that that is the truth, not this urban crazy life, but the connection to something bigger, something much bigger than what the self is and what the life is, And this song, brings the importance of the elements of nature, the water, the fire, the earth, and the air, because they have the qualities, the qualities they represent is the qualities that also we go through through different emotions and through different um, ways of dealing with life. So, for example, sometimes we there must be so much going on, and we probably have so many visions and so many things that we would like to do, but we don't know how to bring them into manifestation. We can't ground them. Well, there are certain rhythms that has that property. It has a property that brings you and grounds you into the moment. And then sometimes you just need a rhythm that helps you relax and just be calm and just like really flow like a lullaby, like a wave that's coming and going, a water rhythm, you know. And sometimes you need a rhythm that helps you release and transform all of these fire that you have inside, and you need to get it out because it's burning inside. When there is rhythms that has that quality, and that when you playing, you are expressing through the rhythm all of that fire that's inside. And then there's rhythms that is about expansion, and it's all about breath, and it's about connecting with through the rhythm with that air, that help us just feel just opening. So that's how everything from the actual song La Medicina, it came then the concept of going into the rhythms, teaching these 4 rhythms that will connect to the elements of nature and their properties. And in that way, we connect to the element, but we also have uh, we have something that when you are in your own space and you feel like, oh, I feel really mellow and relaxed, well, then you can go and play this water rhythm. Or when you really need to let go, you play the fire rhythm, and so on. So that's how, in a very simple way, these first 8 weeks is formed into, okay, we're gonna dive together, not only in the drum, with the drum and rhythm. It's like a big holistic kind of vision of embracing it and actually having every day my invitation. I know life it's different for everyone and we have more or less time, but my invitation is to bring it into your daily practice for 8 weeks, and for 10-15 minutes, you have your little sacred space where you connect with yourself and you connect with the drum, you connect with the element, you connect with rhythm. And that's it. And just see how that uh, impacts you inside and how that helps you connect and grow a relationship with yourself, because we all say like, love yourself, care yourself, you know, connect with yourself. And sometimes these are very big words, which we don't know how to go there.
Yeah.
And for me, um, the drumming, the chanting, the moving is the path to take me to that place, to home.
Wow.
So that's
Ah.
how we're going to do it. Are you ready?
I feel blissful just listening to it. It's just like, oh my God, I can't wait. And it just makes so much sense with my breath work as well. When you were talking about the air element and the expansion and the breath, it's like, yes, oh my God, that's what I do. And I didn't actually connect it to that element of air.
Mm,
And
yeah.
it's so straightforward and so simple and so obvious.
Mm,
But hearing you speaking about is like, yes, that's the connection. That's part of what I do. But how can I bring all the other elements in as well? So it's not just about the breathing, but what if sometimes, yes, people need to release more. Sometimes people need to feel more. Sometimes they actually just want to relax. So it's all these different aspects. So actually, it excites me to hear about the elements and actually learn more about it. But also a question that was my first question the first time you were telling me about the program. Do I need a drum? So basically, that was my first thing as you were talking about is like, oh, will my shamanic drum be enough to go through this program? So can you tell us about it if someone doesn't have a drum and wants to participate, what they can do?
well, I mean, you can try to get a drum. That's one of the things. Um, which of course ultimately, I think if you're going to go on a journey of learning or connecting with the drum, you will need the drum. At the same time, I've already been doing through lockdown drum circles where some people came with no drum, and I always say, because it's about connecting with rhythm. You can use anything around you that you can tap, and it's just actually the whole thing of moving your arms into a rhythm, and be thinking about that rhythm and be singing that rhythm, that you are already doing it. You are already connecting to rhythm. So ultimately, if you don't have a drum, but you really want to do this journey, you can also do it. And even a cushion, like a cushion, actually, as simple as that, it can serve a purpose for you to drum on.
Mm.
You know, uh, even your knees. Like that's what I'm saying. There is never limitations. Many times we put things like, oh, I can't do it because of this. Oh, I can't do it because of that. We always find the reason why it can't be done. But actually, I think it's more about finding the way that you make it happen. you
Good.
know
And you mentioned also like having two sticks, for example.
yeah, you can
When,
have two sticks, so you can. I mean, I would pretty much, before having two sticks, which can help you, like to go into tuning with a steady beat. It's very helpful. But I really think cushions are amazing. Like really, I mean, everyone has a cushion, and seriously, it's a great feeling because it's fluffy, and it's okay. So in that sense, if that's a situation where someone has no access to get a drum at this point, but they really feel like they want to do it, I would say don't stop yourself, because this journey is beyond that.
yeah.
It's beyond that, and it will give you a foundation that maybe the drum will come later on. And maybe it's for you to have this experience like this, where actually there is not a drum yet, but you are already embodying the rhythm. um, but if you also want to buy a drum, for example, I would say the better drum to go with would be a drum that you play with your hands, so no with the stick. That doesn't mean you can't, but this is my advice. Why? Because when we play with our hands, there is a certain connection that we get from using our own hands and feeling in our hands, like all this sensorial experience of actually uh, 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 the energy moving from our hand into whatever instrument we are using. you know and if you are using a drum, of course, then you feel the vibration of the skin is all coming to you, and you feeling it in your hands. So it's a much more, for me, healing experience when we are when we are using our own body to play the rhythm, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and so the drum I normally would recommend is djembe drum, which I can show you also in here. This is a djembe drum, and this is a drum from Ghana, and you see like this, and you see like that, and you will just basically play with your both hands in here, and you can buy any size. I mean, I would always advise, if you are gonna get a drum, get a drum like this. Is quite large. But when you put your hand in the center of the drum, you have a little bit of a ring around it. In that sense, you make sure that you're gonna have a deep sound, a bass sound. Because if it's too small, you have like all the tapping sounds on the edge, but you won't have the deep sound in the middle. So and the deep sound, you know, it's like everything. The deep sound of the drum, the bass, would resonate all in the lower chakras of your body, while the high will resonate into the higher ones. So if you are going to buy a drum, I would say make sure that when you play the bass, it has a deep, resonant sound, vibration. Um, and for me, that's a lot more important than the high sounds on the edge. It's actually the really low, because that's, for me, that's the one that really connects me to Mother Earth, and also connects me to my womb. You know, it connects me to the heartbeat. It will sound doom doom. It's always like on the deep deep range. So I would say, if you are to buy a drum, look for that. Look for a drum that has a nice, low, um, beautiful, rich sound. And yes, you can always, you know, anyone, if it's in a situation where they need more advice, they can always reach me out. You can reach, you know, and then I can actually, there is a lot of women that are now signing to the journey, and they all like asking me this. And so I'm going to do a little video which is going to tell all about the drum, and what to look in a drum when you're going to buy a drum. And you know, I'm going to kind of give a little bit of guidance and put it out there, so everyone that needs to have a little bit of that kind of advice, then they can just you know, listen to that. And then ultimately, it's always about a personal connection, um, with the sound of that drum. It has to speak to you, you know. And I mean, this in Africa, they say you don't choose the drum; the drum chooses you. You know, so I would say, um, to be able to listen to a few drums, not just one, and then which one is the one that's talking to you. Because the relationship with drum, it's a beautiful one. It's a deep one, and if you don't resonate with the sound of your drum, with that sound, it's very difficult. You know, it's like basically, if you're gonna find a partner and they just, I mean, they just say this one there, you go, you know, you'll be like, oh, don't really resonate with this one. You have to resonate with your drum, you know, with the sound of the drum. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful. So, where can people find you on social media then?
Social media, you can, I mean, Regina Rhythm, it's everywhere, Regina Rhythm. And um, yeah, you can find my website, reginarhythm.com, Insta Regina Rhythm, Facebook Regina Rhythm, you know. And yeah, I'm sure you'll find me.
And YouTube as well, a big one, because you've done collaborations with not just Deva Premal, but also Sam Garrett and other musicians. So there are some amazing
I
videos.
as well. Um, so yes, of course, you know, and as I'm saying, you know, I'm still adding things, because it's not been a long time that I have been actually putting it on a digital format, what I do. Although there is a lot of history, and it's quite, sometimes I think it's a bit sad, like all my years in Africa, they were not really, there's not content about it, there's not recording about it. I mean, it's still magical because it was my experience, but there is not, well, the first thing is actually when I would go into the villages, and those days there were no iPhones, you would have just a little camera. They actually, they didn't want to be photographed. They didn't want people to get, they had this belief that you would take something of them. There's something you are taking of me when you're, what are you, it was something, and they wouldn't like it at all. So actually you couldn't even get a camera out back in those days. Now it's a whole different thing. Now everyone is sharing, from the village with your iPhone and stories and everything. It's amazing. But so you'll find some in there, and little by little there'll be more as well. So you can come, anyone that's resonating, you're welcome to come with me in the journey, and just enjoy as much as you like.
Beautiful. And also, especially La Medicina, the video, beautiful video from Costa Rica as well. That's a beautiful video and beautiful song.
Yes, yes, that is very special, and my dear sister, Amy Hart, who I met there while I was in Costa Rica in the retreat with Deva and Miten, she was there as well, and she was making photographs of the whole retreat. And when he finished, we kind of she was staying and I was staying another week. And then one day we said, shall we, let's go to the beach, She said, I have this beach which is beautiful and it's empty, virgin beach. And I'm like, yeah, I love it, I love it. And what happened in there is pure magic, it wasn't planned. We were not gonna go to this beach to make a video for nothing or not. We were just gonna go and have a swim. And um, it happened that that very morning I went to this beautiful boutique in in Nosara, and I fall in love with this dress. I saw it, and it was this orange color, like the sunset. All I could feel is the sunset, and I was like, oh, I have to have this dress. Oh, and I don't even know when I'm gonna wear it. And it's like, wow, goddess dress. And I put it in the car. I bought it, and then when my friend picked me up, I was having breakfast. I had my drum, I had my dress, and we put it in the back of the car. We went to the beach and we were swimming, and then I was in a tree and she was making photos, and then she said, "Oh, it would be so amazing to make a video in here." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I have an amazing dress in the back of your car." And she's like, "Put it on." And the rest, it was just a full day that unfolded of us enjoying and celebrating being in this beautiful beach surrounded by the elements, and we just had so much fun. She said, oh, for one video for one of your songs. And I said, oh, if it's any, it has to be La Medicina, because this is where we are in nature. And I mean, at least I knew that after that day of recording, just having fun with an iPhone, because she didn't even had her camera, because she didn't know, that was going to happen. 2 months after, I was in California. Amy was amazing. She really saw something very special. She felt really inspired and creative, and in the way we were working together. And she said, "Let's bring you here and record this song. We need to do this. This is something that needs to be put out into the world." And she got an amazing sound engineer, Ben Laneback, which when I knew it was with Ben Laneback, I was like, I can't believe this, because he produces all the music for Jayu Tao, and he's also produced music with Deva, and I always love his music. So I was like, am I seriously going to go with La Medicina to record it in his studio to California? It was all so magical in the way it happened. Like, seriously, I only can see this as a divine way of manifesting something that, if you think about it from a rational point of view, I never saw this happening. And this is what I was saying before. Like, sometimes, like, when she asked me, will you come to California and record the song? In my mind went into, how am I going to do that? And what's going to happen with my daughters, and how this, all these things that is like, not sure, don't think so. But I actually said, yes, I'm coming. And from the moment I said yes, things started to work in a magical way. And so many people came to help. Like I had, so many people donating money for this song to come into life. So the song belongs to everyone. This song, it's here because a lot of people put their drop of love to add together so it could manifest, and I
It's
mean,
just the divine power of like, right, like the song wanting to be born through you.
yes, I mean, and it's amazing. I get people from all around the world saying, "Oh my God, this song has helped me so much," and I use it with when they do even group work. I use it, and we use it to connect to Mother Earth, and it's amazing how it really bonds us, and it just, and it brings me so much joy, and I'm like honored to be like, my hand is the one that is helped bring this thing that comes from something that's beyond me. I'm just a deliver. Is a deliverer, how you say? I'm just
A midwife.
delivery woman. you know, I bring the parcel into the world, and so it's an honor, and it's also bring so much expansion to see how people will come with so much generosity because they will feel inspired, and they will just help in different ways, and to share it, to make it more richer, to bring more quality to it, to just really, I don't know, when one day I will write a whole, even just a story about how I was born in Croatia, while I was seeing this beautiful sunset coming down, and then a red moon was coming up, and in that moment there was red celestial spheres shining red in the ocean, and I'm in this cliff, and the song just came, boom. The elements are the medicine. And I remember how I was thinking a bit about, oh, which one shall I go first? The element, and I was just allowing myself to let it come, and then the melody came so simple, and it was then a song that I would just share in my drum circles, and with when I was playing with people for probably about 3 years before it all started in Costa Rica, and then all this, and it's quite amazing to think like one simple song can spiral so much, can bring so many people together, and can be something so meaningful. One song with 4 lines, that's it, and the drum beat and the heartbeat, that's it.
And also you donating all the proceedings to, was it the Rainforest Alliance?
Yes. So what it came, it was like, well, this song is coming in a way that it has to keep on going into giving back to Mother Earth. So the Amazon came very strongly, and then we did a little research with not a lot of time frame to put it all into place. But then we decided, me and Amy, we decided we would donate all the proceedings from the people that would purchase the song, to help, this organization that's helping in the Amazon, and the communities that are suffering from the fires and deforestation. And so for the first 3 months, uh, um, we donated it to Earth Alliance. And it's very interesting, it feels actually like it's crazy. It feels like uh, La Medicina has been out for like the video's been for a long time, but actually it came out this April, on Earth Day. It was the 22nd, of April. And I remember we were in full lockdown. And then, me and Amy, we were talking. She lives in San Francisco. And then we said, it is time to get that song done. It's been a year. It's coming into a cycle of a full year since we recorded the footage. And already the song was out. The song was already out as a song, but there was not the video. We never worked on it because she had her life, I had my life, and it was no space for us to work together. But suddenly, through lockdown, plenty space, plenty time. So we got into Zoom and we worked, this, that, this, that. And I think within a week, it was ready. And I couldn't believe that it was in time to be released on Earth Day. And everything was so, again, like it was not even a choice of ourselves. Everything was already aligned to be on this time and this way, and just perfectly orchestrated. And now, like we still supporting planting trees, and so every time someone is purchasing the song, it's not going to Earth Alliance, because now I'm looking for a different project where it would go into help planting trees. And there is a few of them that are in my mind, but because it's so much happening at the moment, it's like, well, the money's just being collected, and when it feels right and it aligns right and I am moved, then the money will go to that project to help in any way plant trees or help Mother Earth, to heal.
That's
So
beautiful.
yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Is there a song that is coming through that would like to be performed before we go?
Oh, wow. Yes, of course. What shall I play? um, well, I think it only makes sense that I sing La Medicina.
Absolutely.
you know so everyone that might be watching this, they can experience it live and raw, which is the best way always. And you can sing along with me as well. And it's a time where you really take a deep breath, and then you relax, and we go deep to connect with the heart. And we see ourselves connected to Mother Nature. And we bring all of our gratitude, because she nurtures us and she holds us. All of our love.
I love you so much.
I love you, sister.
Just the goosebumps and just your energy and your voice washing all over me is just so healing, so beautiful.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you for your medicine.
Thank you so much for this beautiful idea and this time together, and may it bring somehow inspiration and joy into whoever come across it, and may it be received with love,
Beautiful.
with all the love that we share for each other. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.